Hello, Under the Willow preschool families. I miss seeing you and your beautiful children. I'm going to do a few little brief tutorials about all the things that I sent home in your craft bag. And for anyone who is viewing this that doesn't know me, I'm also known as Miss Jackie. And I sent home a bag of crafts for my families. And many of the items that I'll be showing you, you'll be able to use from your own home. So if you want to do this with your children, you'll be able to. So the first thing that I sent home with you in your craft bag is a piece of painting paper. Usually we have this painted and then I create the baskets magically and then the children get to see it when it's time to put their Easter grass or their spring grass in it. But for purposes right now, I cut the scalloped edge for you and you can have your child color it. Or if you have watercolors at home, any kind of watercolor would be fine. Pastel colors to just color your whole page, just one side. And it will look a bit like this when you're done. And so after that, I have a big chunky ruler. It's about 1.5 inches thick. And so I would just trace a line across the bottom of our painting paper and I would cut all the way across, and that is going to be the handle for your basket. I think a long strip would be too long. You might need to shorten it, but you can put it on your basket and then see if you like the length of the handle. Now the next thing you're going to do, you can see I've made little cuts in my painting paper because I want to be able to bend it and fold it. So I'm going to make 5 3-inch cuts with my scissors, just like that. And then I'm going to fold each flap up so that it's easier when you try to turn it into a basket. So I've done that. And you're going to have something that begins to look like this. Now any kind of glue will do. We typically use tacky glue. I feel like it's a bit stronger. And you're going to begin to glue the flaps and fold one over on the other about halfway. You'll have to play with it a little bit to see how it will fit. Excuse me for a moment. So you're going to fold and flap it over, fold and flap it over, kind of making a circle. It's not an exact science, and it's okay as long as it folds into itself, and then you can shape it a little bit, press it around, play with it. You'll have to do it kind of quickly so the glue will still move a bit. So you can see how I did not glue it. This is my pattern, but how it could be glued. All this will be glued on the inside too. And then I like to take a stapler and just maybe put 2 staples on the side. And then I'll get like a can of soup or something heavy to sit right there and let it dry. And while you're working with it, you can take your container that I will also have in your craft bag for your spring week, put that in there. So while you're shaping it and stapling it, you're making sure that it's about the size of your little plastic container. And then the last thing you can do is to attach your handle. I don't have one with me at this moment in front of me, but you can staple it from one side to the next, and there you'll have your sweet little Easter basket or spring basket for your spring week. Now while that is drying, and you can just stretch out these activities and give yourself a little activity each day. I would do the painting one day and then let it dry. I forgot to say that if you're doing watercolor painting, for the children here in the kindergarten, I just tape a big like lawn and leaf trash bag to the table because we don't have painting boards that are as long as our paper. And then I wet the paper lay it on that, and then that's their painting. And it will take a day or two to dry. We might not have even gotten to this part till the next week. So you can stretch out your activities for the week. And then on another day, we would be planting our spring wheat. Now this is the time of year when the earth is awakening, the bulbs are blooming already, the leaves are on the trees, and so we sing a lot in the kindergarten. Circles and stories, everything that we do in the kindergarten is going to reflect the natural world. So right now we would be singing, spring is coming, birdies build your nests. Weave together straw and feather, each one doing their best. Spring is coming, flowers are coming too. Pansies, lilies, daffodillies, all are coming through. You don't have to be a songbird, obviously, to sing to your children. They just delight in their parents, caregivers, and teachers lifting their voice in song joyfully. And that is true with all the rhythms that you're doing at home. You're baking, sing a song, make it up. Transitioning, brushing teeth at night, bath time, bedtime, any time that you want to shift things for yourself or for your children, do it with song. That's what we do here in the kindergarten. Another song I'll teach you in a second. I have to get my materials. We'll be planting some spring wheat. Now we would have already probably done this in the kindergarten because we want it to be nice and lush by the holiday season, Easter, or just the spring season if that's what you do in your home. But I'm gonna plant mine here now. We're gonna plant it together, and then it's gonna be waiting for the children when they come back to the kindergarten, and they'll get to see it growing. And for you at home in your craft bags that I've sent home with you, I've sent home one of these little liners that will go in the Easter basket that we just made together. And I will send home some spring wheat that you plant. These I have been soaking for a while. I recommend that you soak them overnight because it will help them to sprout faster, to germinate quicker, and little children get excited. Like in a day or so, you'll get to see the little buds springing up, and they love to water it and to see it, watch their plants grow. Of course, everything has a song. So in the kindergarten, the children would put earth in their container, and we would sing, a farmer once planted some little brown seeds with a pit-a-pat, 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 pat. He watered them often and he pulled out the weeds with a tug and a tug and a tug, tug, tug. The seeds grew tall and green in the sun with a push, push here and a push, push there. And a beautiful plant grew from each one. And so you can go around your family and say, Mommy, what flower did you grow into? And Daddy, what flower did you grow into? And then you can talk about what flowers you see out in your garden and what flower is your favorite and what you have grown into. So with your spring wheat, you're just gonna sprinkle it. I can't help myself. A farmer once planted some little brown seeds with a pit-a-pat, 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 pat. He watered them often and he pulled out the weeds with a tug and a tug and a tug, tug, tug. The seeds grew tall and green in the sun with a push, push here and a push, push there. And a beautiful plant grew from each one. And in the kindergarten, we would sing it over and over again as all of us together planted our spring wheat. And feel free to put all the seeds that I have given you in a bag evenly, thickly over your container, because then it will make a nice, lush little garden coming up. So I'm doing that now, sprinkling it all around. And then I want to do just a gesture of covering them up in protection and tucking them in. The wheat can grow fine without doing that, and sometimes it pushes the soil and clumps it on the top, so you don't want much. You just want a little gesture of like tucking the seeds into bed. And not so that you can't see them, just a light little covering them up, putting them into bed. And then you'll want to water them often. So that's what I have for right now. I'll have more coming, and forgive my technical abilities and whatever else. Just want to give you some support while you're at home and during this interesting time of isolation, and to just think about, you know, how we can still come together, how we can support one another and stay in loving connection with one another. And certainly singing with your children through the day, planning days, parts of your day for little activities, focusing on rhythm will really help with that. And in a little bit, I'll have some other tutorials for the rest of the items that I put into your craft basket. Thank you for now. Bye-bye.